JanataTelevision extends warm greetings and wishes for peace and prosperity of all our viewers within the country and abroad, as well as our valued advertisers, shareholders and well-wishers on the occasion of Vijayadashami. Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Yutsa Bhattrai. The top stories first. Nepalese are celebrating Vijayadashami across the country today. People seeking blessings from elderly despite coronavirus crisis. President extends greetings on the occasion of Vijayadashami, urges the public to maintain physical distance while celebrating Dasai. Coronavirus cases top 158,000 across the country. 5 more deaths reported in Nepal. Afghanistan kills top Al-Qaeda leader. The deceased Al-Masri was on the most wanted list of FBI. And Lewis Hamilton breaks Michael Schumacher's win record at the Portuguese GP, completes 92 career Grand Prix wins. And now the news in detail. Today is the 10th day of Dasai, the biggest festival of the Hindus residing in Nepal. On this day, people of all caste and creed seek blessings from the elderly. A report.
To celebrate this festival, which spans over 15 days on the bright half of the lunar calendar, in the month of Ashwin, people from far and near return home. On this day, devotees worship goddess Bhavani Siddhidatri, who is considered the embodiment of victory. This day is celebrated as the day of victory of good over the evil. Holy scriptures mention that Lord Shiva, the destroyer of the world, invoked goddess Siddhidatri on this day and acquired the form of the all-powerful Ardhanarishwar, which means half male and half female. It is also said that Lord Vishnu, during his incarnation of Lord Ram, worshipped various forms of goddess Bhavani during the 9 nights of Dasai to obtain blessings to defeat the demon Ravan. The goddesses which are invoked during the first 9 days of the festival are bade farewell on the 10th day. With the end of worshipping begins merrymaking. People celebrate the festival for the next 5 days until the full moon. They visit their near and dear ones to pay respect. Elderly people give blessings of longevity to the younger members of the family. However, the merrymaking this year has been affected due to coronavirus. Although people have returned to their hometowns and villages in large numbers, in spite of limited mobility, the government has urged the public to adopt safety measures while celebrating Dasai this year to minimize the spread of the coronavirus.
President Vidya Devi Bhandari has urged everyone to maintain physical distancing and health safety protocols while celebrating Dasai to preserve the cultural values of the traditional festivals. President Bhandari extended festive greetings on the occasion of the Dasai festival, wishing peace, prosperity, good health and long life to all Nepalese living in the country as well as abroad. However, President Bhandari urged everyone to understand the risk of the spread of coronavirus and maintain physical distancing and health safety protocols. Now, the streets of Kathmandu wear a deserted look with the arrival of the Dasai festival. With the growing risk of coronavirus and people leaving for their hometown, the streets of Kathmandu have turned silent. Although a handful of vehicles can be seen roaming on the roads of Kathmandu, vehicular movements in the main streets such as Tinkune, Nayabaneshwar, Maitighar, Tripureshwar and Ratna Park is almost negligible. People who left the valley long before have not returned back, and the ones currently inside the valley also have not come out on the roads due to the risk of COVID-19 infection. Although Dasai this year does not wear its usual glamour like in previous years, it is the most important festival across the country, holding special significance. The government has also given public holiday for the celebration of Dasai. Only motors of security personnel, emergency service providers and some individuals could be seen making rounds of the valley. Security personnel can, however, be seen in every nook and corner of the valley as per the security policy implemented by the security agencies for Dasai. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. We continue with other national news. The government has confirmed 2,856 new cases of coronavirus across the country during the latest round of tests. According to the Health Ministry, Kathmandu Valley alone reported 1,535 new cases. The Ministry of Health and Population informed that the total caseload of coronavirus in the country has now climbed to 158,089. So far, 111,670 patients have recovered from the disease, while the number of active cases stands at 45,572. Meanwhile, the death toll from coronavirus has climbed to 847 across the country. The ministry yesterday confirmed the deaths of 5 more people due to coronavirus. Nepal is currently among the top 34 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. In the meantime, Health Ministry has requested all the private hospitals to treat needy COVID-infected patients free of cost. Last week, the government had declared that only the needy, vulnerable, disabled persons and frontline health workers who display COVID symptoms will be treated free of cost. Releasing a statement yesterday, Ministry's Incident Command System Coordinator Dr. Gunraj Lohani informed that most of the people from the needy section of the society have been denied treatments by private hospitals. The government has already declared that needy, poor, disabled person and senior citizens will not have to pay for their treatment, and the private hospitals should act accordingly, Dr. Lohani said. Those hospitals defying such orders shall be responsible for their own act, Dr. Lohani further warned. Now, spokesperson of Nepal Communist Party Narayan Kaji Shrestha has criticised chairperson of his own party as well as Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli for meeting the chief of Indian intelligence agency RAW. Posting a status on popular social media application Facebook, spokesperson Shrestha alleged the Prime Minister of weakening the country's national pride. Meeting a chief of another country's intelligence agency as the head of the government does not only deteriorate national pride, prestige and diplomatic status, but will ultimately weaken national sovereignty and integrity. Spokesperson Shrestha posted on his Facebook page, Prime Minister's meeting with RAW's chief was against established diplomatic norms and practices, the NCP spokesperson added. Shrestha affirmed that Prime Minister Oli provided no prior information regarding the meeting to the party and held no discussions with the party members. And now the news from Economic Front. Although the hydropower development and income is considered as the backbone of the economic growth of the country, their share prices are well under average in the share market. The share prices are lower than average for almost all hydropower projects, and this has put the investors and general public in stress over the future for their investment. A report.
Of the 31 listed hydropower companies in the share market, almost 18 to 19 of them have share prices less than Rs 100 per unit. These hydropower projects have not been able to provide investors with the expected profits, and therefore there is very little investment security in the share market for listed hydropower companies. Some of the reasons that have contributed to the falling share prices of these companies in the share market include increased final investment than projected investment, unstable interest rate of banks, delay in construction leading to increased cost, and problems surrounding land and its acquisition. Other reasons like delay in construction of transmission lines has also contributed to loss as the produced electricity cannot be transmitted to the national grid.
आधा पनि उत्पादित विद्युत चाहिँ प्रसारण लाइनमा प्रवाह नभइसकेपछि त्यसको हामीले प्राप्त गर्ने रेभेन्यू आधी भन्दा कम भएपछि स्वभावैले त्यसबाट डिभिडेन्डमा पर्न सक्ने असर अर्निङ पर शेयरमा पर्न सक्ने असरको कारण विद्युत प्रसारण लाइनको क्षमताकै कारणले विद्युत प्राधिकरणले समय समयमा दिने डिस्प्याच इन्स्ट्रक्सनको कारणले गर्दाखेरि आयोजनाहरूले फुल क्यापेसिटीमा उत्पादन गर्न नसकेपछि आयोजनाहरूको आम्दानी कम भइसकेपछि त्यसले पनि अर्निङ पर शेयरमा समस्या गरेर त्यसले पनि चाहिँ भएको हो.
The government's decision to remove hydro penalty for smaller hydropower projects has not been implemented by the Nepal Electricity Authority as well. The promoters are also accused of foul play as they have been using the money from listing the IPOs in the share market and reinvesting them elsewhere.
अर्को कम्पनीको पब्लिक आइपिओ निकाल्दिने त्यो आइपिओ लगेर चाहिँ नयाँ कम्पनीमा हाल्दिने त्यो हालिसकेपछि चाहिँ हामीले अब जो आइपिओ भर्ने मान्छेले चाहिँ कम्प्लिट भएको आयोजना हो यसले 1 वर्ष 1.5 वर्षमा डिभिडेन्ड दिन्छ भनेर आइपिओ भरे हुन्छ तर उसले उसको पैसा चाहिँ नयाँ आयोजनामा गएपछि त्यो नयाँ आयोजना बन्न त 8-10 वर्ष लाग्छ.
Analysts claim the biggest problem surrounding the hydropower companies is the loss of the produced electrical power due to unavailability of transmission lines.
मुख्य कुरो प्रसारण लाइन यदि लाइनको सुनिश्चितता छ भने विद्युत खपतको सम्भावना राम्रो छ भने असम्भव यो नराम्रो केही पनि छैन तर मुख्य कुरो के हुनु पर्यो भने प्रसारण लाइन चाहिँ त्यो आयोजना बनिसक्दा प्रसारण लाइन पनि बन्नु पर्यो.
The initial investors in the share market, the general people, and those that are trading the secondary shares have all felt they have been cheated with the share, and therefore it is imperative to solve this issue as soon as possible.
We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now to international news. Afghanistan yesterday claimed it killed a top Al-Qaeda leader on an FBI most wanted list during an operation in the country's east, AP reported. The reported death of Abu Musayn al-Masri follows weeks of violence, including a suicide bombing by the Islamic State group on Saturday at an education center near Kabul that killed 24 people. Meanwhile, the Afghan government continues to fight Taliban militants even as peace talks in Qatar between the two sides take place for the first time. AP further reports that the violence and al-Marsi's reported killing threaten the face-to-face peace talks and risk plunging the nation beset by decades of war into further instability. They also complicate America's efforts to withdraw, 19 years after it led an invasion targeting the Taliban for hosting Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden after the September 11 attacks. Afghanistan's intelligence service claimed on Twitter to have killed al-Masri in Ghazni province. The agency released a photograph late Sunday afternoon. It described as al-Marsi's corpse, which resembled FBI images of the militant leader. Al-Qaeda did not immediately acknowledge al-Marsi's reported death. Just weeks after India fully opened up from a harsh lockdown and began to modestly turn a corner by cutting new coronavirus infections by near half, a Hindu festival season is arising fears that a fresh surge could spoil the hard-won gains. The Associated Press reported that the festivals draw tens and thousands of people packed together shoulder to shoulder in temples, shopping districts and family gatherings. This has led to concerns among health experts who warn of a whole new cascade of infections, further testing and straining India's battered healthcare system. The Hindu festival season is traditionally laced with an unmatched fanfare and extravaganza, with socializing being the hallmark of the celebration. But this year's festivities have started on pale note. So far, the colourful and elaborate rituals for Durga Puja and Dasera have been scaled down. The towering displays of religious sculptures are rare, and at many places prayers have gone virtual, with organisers live streaming the seasons for the devotees. In many states, police barricades have been erected around the usually buzzing places of worship to avoid large gatherings. But this could change. Nearly 1 billion Indians will soon celebrate Diwali, the Hindu festival of light and the country's biggest. Socializing is a key part of the most highly anticipated event of the year, with malls and markets buzzing with shoppers. It also traditionally brings in a massive increase in consumers spreading across India. It was rather spending across India. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Points. Red Bull has 220 points and is at the second place, while a Racing Point with 126 points is in the third place. The next race is the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at the Autodromo Enzo Iteno Ferrari on November 1st. Jamie Vardy came off the bench to score the decisive goal of the match as Leicester City defeated Arsenal in the Premier League yesterday. The former England international headed home from close range in the 80th minute as the Leicester City managed their first win after back-to-back losses in the Premier League. Arsenal have now lost twice in a row and have been pushed to 10th in the table with 9 points. Leicester's win takes them to the 4th in the table with 12 points. In other matches, league leaders Everton's unbeaten record of the Premier League season was ended as they crashed to 2-0 defeat against Southampton at St Mary's. James Ward-Prowse beat Jordan Pick with a ferocious finish before Che Adams doubled the lead with the Saints in the first half. The result was further cemented when Everton's Lucas Digne was showed a straight red in the 72nd minute after a nasty challenge on Kyle Walker-Peters. The win takes Southampton to 6th in the table with 10 points, while Everton are still on top of the table, albeit only goal difference. Merseyside rivals Liverpool are also on 13 points and are second in the table. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Nepalese celebrating Vijayadashami across the country today. People seeking blessings from elderly despite coronavirus crisis. President extends greetings on the occasion of Vijayadashami, urges public to maintain physical distance while celebrating Dasai. Coronavirus cases top 158,000 across the country. 5 more deaths reported in Nepal. Afghanistan kills top Al-Qaeda leader. The deceased Al-Marsi reported as most wanted in the list of FBI. And Lewis Hamilton breaks Michael Schumacher's win record at the Portuguese GP, completes 92 career Grand Prix wins. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to take necessary precautions while celebrating the festivals. Keep washing your hands, keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.